Coming to you from the corner with the radiator, it's day 11 and it's time for a quick strike! Hello and welcome to the Dohyo here on Mr. JWags channel. It is time for a quick strike, a small tapas amuse-bouche sized episode that we consume mid-basho to keep us hungry for more sumo. But if you have not watched through day 11 of the January tournament, stop! Watch through day 11 for spoilers abound. Okay, this has been a very exciting basho. I'm very happy to be getting back to a time where if you want to look at what's happening in the basho, you only have to look sort of up at the sanyaku to see where the major storylines are. That's not to say I don't love like a Cinderella Maegashira story, but I kind of like having the best people at sumo be ranked the best, and that seems to be where we are for this tournament. Alone on the leaderboard at 10-1 is Sekiwake Kotonowaka, and he is looking great. Now, I didn't fully expect him to have a breakout in this tournament, and to be fair, he still has a tough road ahead of him. All of our leading contenders do, because it's basically going to be, well, today, they're all facing Maegashira, and tomorrow, they're all going to start facing each other. And yes, these are Maegashira who deserve to be promoted down the stretch. We have a bunch of guys down at 8-3, all of them Maegashira, who I think they're promoting right now in sort of the void of Takakeisho. But yes, Onosho, Takanosho, Onosato, these guys are doing really well, and I would be surprised though if they end up like winning a bunch of the matches tomorrow. These feel like matches where it's like, well, we're gonna give you the shot, but we don't expect you to be like in the hunt. Would be kind of cool if they were. I just don't see it. Now, Kotonowaka, with 10 wins, if he can finish out with like a 13-2 or better, I'd say he is definitely making Ozeki. If he gets to like a 12-3 Junyusho or a 12-3 playoff, I'd say the odds are pretty good. But like I have said recently many times, we have 3 young-gish Ozeki, so I don't think they're like going to try to push people over the finish line like they might have like a year ago when we only had 1. I believe if Kirishima ends up winning 3 of his last 4 and gets like a 12-3 Yusho, I'm not sure if that will get him fully to Yokozuna, as we've just had this similar situation with Takakeisho. I would love it if he ended up winning out. I just don't see Kirishima quite being able to do that, but that would leave no doubt if he ends up like sort of sweeping the other 2 Ozeki and the Yokozuna in this tournament. Hoshoryu is looking very good. I don't see a lot of the overconfidence I have seen in him in the past. He's facing every day like as a new challenge. I don't think he's overlooking any opponents. 9-2 is real good. I think he's going to be in the hunt all the way to the end. And there's something about him that I have noticed, and I'm not going to mention it till the recap. And Terunofuji, I did not expect him to be doing as well as he's doing. I really expected him to be gone in the first week. I think now that he's gone through 11 days, I think he's going to stick through all 13 days, even if he doesn't win. This way, if he goes Kyujo for the next tournament, he can just turn around and say, like, look, I just finished all 15 days. I just maybe one more so I can get back in the flow of it. I think at this point, unless he physically can't walk, he will be finishing all 15 days. But that is, in fact, a possibility with Terunofuji. Now, of the cohort down at 8-3, again, it's 4 Maegashira. The only one who I could possibly see breaking out of the pack and like really challenging down the stretch is Wakamoto Haru. He's having a great tournament, and he has already faced the entire Sanyaku. So there is a definite possibility that Wakamoto Haru could win out. I think in all the rest of his matches, he will be favored to win. And hey, finishing 12-3 gives you great odds to finish with a Yusho these days. And I have to mention that there's been a lot more Kyujo carnage since we last spoke. Not just Takakeisho and Takayasu. Takayasu, in fact, came back and then ended up going Kyujo a second time. So we have 7 Makauchi Kyujo for just 6 wrestlers. Now, in addition to Takakeisho and Takayasu twice, we have Hokuseiho, Aoyama, Asanoyama, and Hokuto Fuji. And frankly, maybe Kinbozan, he was limping a bit today. But yeah, we were so happy at the beginning of the tournament, like, no, Kyujo! And then it's like, oh man, this has been good. I do want to talk a little bit about Onosato. Like, he has been doing great, but like I said in the last quick strike, I think he has hit a soft ceiling for now and is going to need to get a few matches against these top rankers, because he knows he can't just blow them out of the ring with his physicality. Now, an interesting side plot to this basho is how the Sanyaku is going to shake out for the next tournament, because follow me here. We have already lost both of our Komusubi for the next tournament. They both got losing records. Takayasu and Uda, I love you. Goodbye. So we're going to need 2 new Komusubi for the next tournament. And right now we have 1 Kachikoshi between Maegashira 1 and like Maegashira 12. So Who's going to end up taking that extra Komusubi spot? And now think about this. What happens if Kota Nowaka does become an Ozeki? Now we have 2 open Komusubis and 1 open Sekiwake slot, assuming Daisho finishes out not at 6 and 9 and dropping out of Sanyaku. But if he does, then we would end up needing 4 people in the Sanyaku. And right now we have 1 Maegashira in the single-digit Maegashira rankings with a winning record. So we could look at Tobizaru and Kinbozan. So they're 6 and 5. So if they win out, which I don't think they will do, that's a 10 and 5, and that would be a worthy Sanyaku promotion. But what if they only get like an 8 and 7? That's a huge over promotion. And if they don't get a winning record, we've got to look down to like Meisei with a 7 and 4 and hope he ends up getting a win in his last 2 tournaments. And then we're talking a jump from Maegashira 9 to the Sanyaku. So I would say take a strong look at Kinbozan and Tobizaru's opponent for the next few days, along with like some of the 5 and 6s like Atami Fuji and Abi, some of the guys who might be able to push their way up. If they get a little bit of an easier track in the last 4 days, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think they want to like promote Tamawashi for Maegashira 10. The lower divisions are still looking very exciting. Judo has gone from a 2-person race to a 3-person race, with Roga joining Toki Hayate and Take Rufuji at the top with 9 wins. Kita Nowaka 1 win behind with 8. And in Makushita, Wakataka Kage is doing great. He's 6-0. He will be fighting Haruyama for the championship in his next match. And Hakuoho down at Makushita 5 has gotten to 5 and 1, which for me gives him like a 40% chance to get promoted. If he gets a 6 and 1, like mathematically, historically, that gets him to like a 2/3 chance. But the real issue is, are there enough people to demote from Judo? Right now, there are 2 guys at the bottom of Judo who both have 8 losses already. They're probably going to get demoted. But we got a bunch of guys at like 5 and 6 just hanging at the bottom of Judo. Now, mathematically, they could all get non-demotable records, and then there'd be just no room for Hakuoho. So I'm hoping he finishes strong, gets a 6 and 1, and maybe one person doesn't do so well down the stretch. All right, this tournament has been insane. I cannot wait for the final 3 days of the tournament where it will just be like top of the Sanyaku slugfest for the championship. I'm very, very excited. This is going to be awesome. All right, everyone, stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy, and I will see you next time on the Dohyo.